Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about the Mythic Legion's Tharnog from the Poxxus wave. Now, this is using their new, slightly larger, I want to call it the brute scale body. I was about to call it ogre, but that's not true. It's our new brute scale body, and this is a magical shaman styled orc. And it's really cool because, actually, I really like these light shades of green. But what's really cool and new about this is that we actually get these new bandage wraps. So I believe there's one other figure that has that. I can't remember which one it is right now off the top of my head. But what's really cool is that we get these wraps as like a part swap gauntlet. Oh, it was Varg the vampire, little vampire. So he had it before, but now we actually have it on a slightly different scale. And what's really cool about this guy is that despite being larger, he still can part swap with 1.0 style bodies, which is really cool. So that means if you want to use and mix match parts and things like that, this guy is definitely still the guy for you to do that. Now, we have a really cool new style belt. We have our soft goods here. As you can see, we have the wraps for the feet and the arms. And overall, our really cool look of a mystical orc. The teeth and the earrings are really cool, as well as him growing out a beard. I don't know why, but all orcs bald-headed, but have really cool beards. I think they know what was up even back then. Maybe he's shaven because the style of the beard, you can see it starts from a hairline up there. But I really like this style and beautiful sculpt. Now, we already know Mythic Legions, for the most part, are single jointed. Now, as far as how that looks, here we are with him standing ever so straight up. And then we have a nice, beautiful shading throughout the arms. We can lift our arms up with no issues. I heated mine up just to, I want to preface with that. I did heat mine up, make sure he was right. We can rotate. There is no bicep swivel, but there is forearm swivel. And that allows you to swivel at the 90-degree mark. We have our head that can lift up. We can swim. Hi, Riley. We can swivel left and right, but we cannot look down due to the way our beard is. And we do have an ab crunch inverted ball joint, which allows you to rotate. See, I popped it out already. But it allows you to rotate backwards and simulate an ab crunch forwards, even tilt a little side to side. So you have that. We can actually do some splits here. We can go forward. The belt will hinder it a bit, so it'll come under 90 degrees. We do have a thigh swivel, as well as a 90-degree joint. And I do believe that you can rotate slightly. There it is. You can rotate at the knee, not at the actual bandage. And you still do get generous ankle pivot. So that means you can still pull it up. Hi, Riley. Riley wants me to open the door, guys. So, but first, we're going to finish out this. Oop. So as you can see, the fur kind of makes it pop out a little bit. So I would suggest you push down very deep. So that way you can actually have this guy rotate a lot better without popping out. So as you can see here, I'm going to do a nice little callous shaman-like pose. I'm going to rotate that head to the side. There we go. I like this one a lot better. So we're going to leave him there, and then we're going to get set into all the accessories that he comes with while I open the door for Riley so he can bother his brother. So while I left him posed up and I squirted Riley out of the room because he wanted to go through a closed door, let's talk about our accessories. Here we are with our shaman staff that he has. I broke it off into two parts. So as you can see, in package, it'll come in one part, but I wanted you guys to see where it parts at, just in case you're having any issues, right? This is a beautifully done, crafted shaman staff. And it's really cool because it's different elements. You have like the smaller human head, you have a horse or a demon animal's head. The horn pulls it through with string and things like that. It's really well done. And it's one of those things where with magic users of this wave, if you want to mix and match it, I feel like you'll have a really great time. Even if you want to mix it in with other lines, I feel like this is one of those things you'll have a great time using as a prop and or accessory and things. I'm going to leave that down there. Next up, you will get your item holding hands. So here we are with these guys. And that's obviously so you can hold your shaman staff. But on a really cool note, you do also get a magic ball with a hand that comes with it. What's really cool is that you can actually, at least on mine, you can actually just take that hand out and have another hand there. So you have it actually have an extra accessory. So you can pop that in and out. If you don't remember where it goes, just slightly do it. The ball does not come out of the mystical part, but I do like the way this looks. I feel like this will light up very well with some good lighting. I'm going to keep this in mind for that. Next up, we have our alternative sculpt, which has our painted sculpt here. This has like, I'm gonna call it war paint or activated like magic. So this is beautifully painted on. This is really nice. And then we have the other accessories where physically I'm gonna have to change it all to the figure as I show you. So I'm gonna show you how I put it on because it could be different for others. Now, we actually get a fur soft good. Now, there are several ways you can do this one. I think personally, I'm going to stick with this way forward, right? So I actually place mine this way through him. And I put it through the underarms, right? Then you have that. I actually like the way that really looks right there, just like this. Next up, you will have 2 shoulder pauldrons, which have beautiful horns on them. Actually, I have it reversed in my hands. If you don't want these big horns on them, you can actually just pop these out. But I do like the vibe of him. I'm guessing it's a play on voodooism. And if I have it wrong, someone please correct me. Because I notice there are lots of bones. And that's not to say bones are a bad thing. He probably gets a lot of history or tracks through bones and things like that. So that is my assumption of, in my headcanon, for this character. Especially because he's supposed to be a good orc shaman, not necessarily a bad one. So that's pretty cool. I think him and like this other orc, I'm sorry, I'm trying to put this in while it's there. So I should probably drop it back down a little bit, but as you can see, I have the shoulders up. But if I drop the shoulders down and rotate our pauldrons, we actually have our look for him. Let's stand him straight up. Him standing on one leg would actually have been dope, but as you can see, it takes up a lot of space on him. That's why I wanted to rotate that in, so you get a lot better look at him as a whole. So I'm actually gonna tuck that back a little bit more later, but as you can see here, it's a really nice look on him. Gives you that nice shaman vibe. Shaman elder, if anything. So him versus the shaman predator would be dope. Magic style, right? So with all that being said, that's all the accessories it comes with. I'm gonna break out some figures to showcase him against it. I'll show you guys in a bit. So on to the size comparison. So as we jump into the size comparison, the first thing I want to do is, because I mentioned earlier in the video that I wanted to compare him to the NECA Shaman Predator. And as you can see, he's actually not much smaller. Noticeably, NECA Predators usually tower over just about everyone. With this new scale, you can see that he's quite a bit larger. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 1.0 orc next to him. And you can see like the 1.0 orc is actually smaller. Like you can see the height difference in this one. With some of our Cosmic Legions in that new brute scale, you couldn't like see the difference before, but you really can see it here. So I like the idea of him being larger, like larger than life, right? Now with other Mythic Legions, here we are with a human style wizard. I figured, you know, it's wizard time, right? Right? And then we have a goblin wizard from earlier waves. And as you can see here, in terms of size, we really are getting that really big size difference that I really enjoy to see. It's really dope to see it and like play around with it. I love the idea of these. So I'm gonna take these guys away, right? Next up, we have Azazel. I'm probably never gonna be able to say his name right, but I love the idea of ruining it for fun. And as you can see, he is on the ogre scale. So you can see how much bigger this guy is compared to him. And like I said, I really love how this is coming out. A lot of different mix of variety of stuff, and it's really making things fun for me. Next up, we have a couple of other magic users, and it sucks because I forgot to get Atticus Doom, but here we are with the Mafex Doctor Strange, in case you want to use him up against Doctor Strange. And then here we are with a Mezco Doctor Strange. So you can kind of see how these guys stack up Strange-wise up against another spellcaster type, right? Hopefully I can find my Atticus Doom soon, right? As far as other generic lines, here we are with my main man, Ichigo. I don't know why I call him generic, but you know what I meant. Here he is on a Gomez style body. So if I want to turn Ichigo into a spellcaster, I got to find a new cool spellcaster body for him. Here we are with a G.I. Joe classified wolf spider. So you can see that this guy is still much bigger than most normal lines. Here we are with a Valorverse 6-inch Republic Guard. And that was Buttermilk being Buttermilk. And you can hear him in the background. Then we have, last but not least, my main man, Kuga, who I've brought back because here we are with our Rising Dragon form. So he's straight out of the box. I actually just opened him today because I've never had a chance to really open him. So here we are with our Rising Dragon form. So you can see just how much bigger this guy is still. Again, I love this new scaling, especially for a character like this. Even though he's jam-packed and the fur is a lot, it's one of those things where I'm going to force myself to really try to find something different in photographing him, kind of like what I did with the Recon Diver. And I'm hoping I can get some really beautiful fauna and flora shots, as well as some other magic stuff, because I really want to make that work. In the meantime, guys, I do hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you are doing well out in the world. And I know times are difficult and there's a lot going on in the world. So please do your best to take care, and hopefully you don't spiral. And if you are spiraling, please always reach out to someone. There's always somebody that cares, trust me. So please, as always, be good, do good, and drink your water, guys. Later.